Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to make a simple syrup, a medicinal simple syrup. I'm using rhubarb. Rhubarb is very medicinal. People don't realize it. They think it's just a yummy pie or jam. It's that too, but it's very, very medicinal. It's so great for belly and gut. It's great for a lot of other things, but belly and gut, really great for that. So this simple syrup, I'm going to add some licorice roots, which is another great ingredient for gut problems and stomach issues. This is a great one. And then I'm going to add some ginger, some fresh ginger root that I ground up to a powder. That's also another great gut medicine. The rhubarb. So I've got in my pot boiling right now, I had 2 cups of water. Put in the rhubarb, and I'm going to put in some licorice roots. Give that a little stir. I'm going to put in the licorice roots, and I would say, let's see, I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons. Let's do 3 tablespoons. About 3 tablespoons of the licorice roots. So that's in there with the rhubarb and the 2 cups of water. Oh, the rhubarb was 4 cups of rhubarb, 2 cups of water, and it's going to be 2 cups of cane sugar is what I'm using. I like the cane sugar. So as far as the ginger roots, I would say this is all grinded up nice. I just bought fresh ginger, dehydrated it, and then put it in my buster. That's the best way to do your ginger, because then you know you're getting 100% ginger. And I would say that is a heaping tablespoon. Put that into. Maybe like a tablespoon and a half that was. So I'm going to mix this around a little bit and let it soften up a little bit, the rhubarb. And then in a few minutes, let it come to a boil. In a few minutes, I'm going to add this beautiful cane sugar. Look at it. Ooh, yum. So yummy. I mean, you could use normal sugar, but why would you if you're making a medicine like this? A syrup that's all medicinal. I wish I had a see-through pot so you could see how fast this rhubarb is just like all falling to pieces and being macerated by the steam, and the heat is just macerating it. When I say that I mean just breaking it up and releasing all the medicinal value. This is actually a strong decoction done this way. It's like a strong tea. If you were to drink it right now, woo! If you had belly problems, you could do that too, guys. You could just take some rhubarb and water, and the things that I just put in is some ginger, and I mean, if you didn't have the licorice roots, the rhubarb and ginger and water, and strain it and drink it if you're having belly issues. Wow. So it's coming to a nice boil now, so I'm going to turn it down just a little bit and add my 2 cups of cane sugar. Give that a stir. I'm going to turn it up. So what I'm going to do right now is the water and the heat they're macerating the rhubarb. Now the sugar is also going to help macerate it too. It's going to break everything up and release all the medicinal value into the liquid form. So I will bring the camera over in a couple minutes. I just want it to come to a boil. It stopped boiling because I put the sugar in. Give it a couple seconds here, it'll come to a boil. I'll let you take a peek and you can see how it's breaking up so well, so fast. Trying to keep the camera away from the steam. So you can see there, it's really breaking up nicely. I got a cat fight going on behind me here. Not a fight, they're just playing with the raccoon at the door. They're just like, I feel like Snow White here. All these animals in the forest. I love it. Okay, so that's really good now. I'm going to let that go and boil for about 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, I'll be able to strain it. And then we're going to make our simple syrup with what we strained. Okay, so now we're going to strain it. I had let it boil for like 10 minutes and it got really, really broken up. You can see, like, oh, you can't see. You can't see that. Anyhow, you'll see when I pour it. See, it's pretty broke up. And I'm going to keep this. I'm going to use it for something. Like, when I drain it, I'm not going to throw this out. It still has a lot of medicine. Ooh, look at the color. Oh, it's so pretty. Sorry, guys. I get so excited about this stuff. Yeah, I'm going to keep this fruit, the fruit of it, and the roots, and the ginger, and I'm going to definitely use it for something else. So, I'm going to strain this, and then I'm going to show you how to make the simple syrup with what we strained. I find this works really good, just doing it this way with a little strainer on top, and then take a spatula and just kind of move it from the bottom, and then the juice runs through nicely instead of putting it through a cheesecloth. I don't think that's necessary. I really don't for this syrup. This works for me. Works great. I don't get any big chunks or anything in there. Do a little squeeze. Add some more. So that works out to be like just about perfect for this. Woo! Here, let me pour it all in. For this size. Pyrex. I'm making a mess now. Just a second here. There we go. Yeah, when you put in the 2 cups of water, it really becomes a lot more because the rhubarb holds so much water. It's a very watery, it's a vegetable, not a fruit. It's a very watery vegetable. So we're going to probably get just about exactly 4 cups. Just like the rhubarb, we started with 4 cups of rhubarb, 2 cups of water, 2 cups of the cane sugar, a tablespoon and a half of the licorice roots. Yeah, I think it was a tablespoon, or no, it was 3 tablespoons of licorice root. Yeah, that's what it was. And then all together, we made this beautiful, beautiful syrup. So there's another step once we're done straining this and getting all the juice out. Like I say, it's going to be just about 4 cups. So we'll have 4 cups of beautiful syrup. Okay, so it's all strained. Look how lovely it is. Can you see that beautiful color? Ooh la la. And there's 4 cups. We started with 2 cups, but the rhubarb held all that liquid. Ooh, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm going to put this in here. And we're going to let this come to a full boil for like 15 minutes. And what I'm going to do right now, is because I thought, ooh, I'm going to add a little something else to it. I want to add some vitamin C to it, so I'm going to throw in some rose hips. I'm going to put in a handful of rose hips. This is optional. Handful of rose hips. They're going to be easy enough to take out. I'm just going to let them boil for like 5 minutes. Maybe I'm going to put in 2 handfuls. 2 handfuls of rose hips. So I'm not going to keep them in the syrup, obviously, because it would be, you would choke. We don't want that. I'm just going to let them boil a little bit to release the vitamin C. And then I'm just going to probably take a little soup thing and scoop them out before it starts to thicken up. Because this is actually going to thicken up now to more of a syrupy It's right now it's quite like very liquidy, more like a juice, not like a syrup. So I'm gonna like have a peek at that. See the rose hips? And they're gonna start to boil, and it's gonna release the vitamin C into the simple syrup. And this is simple. That's all there is to it, guys. Let that go for, let's say, 10 minutes with the rose hips. And then I'm going to take them out and let it go for another 5 to 10 minutes. I'll know by the consistency when I look at it if it's like syrupy looking. And then I'm just going to pour it into my syrup bottle, and I'm going to have this medicinal syrup. That's all there is to it. Okay, so I had strained it, and then I put it back in the pot, and I put the rose hips in. And remember I said that I was going to let the rose hips go for 5 or 10 minutes. I thought, no, I'll just let them go the whole time. So it's been at a full roll boil, and I'll show you what a full roll boil is for 15 minutes now. That's why you have to use a very, very deep, high pot. This pot is big because that water, well, the strong decoction, all of that juice that was in there has now concentrated. It's really small. It's boiled down to 2 cups. It was 4 cups that we put in when we measured it, the syrup. I've cooked it for 15 minutes on a full rolling boil, and that's what you want, just like that. So you can see it's almost to the top of the pot, and I cooked it down. It's probably about the perfect amount to make the perfect syrup is half of what I just put in there. So if I get 2 cups, it's golden. That's going to be the most beautiful syrup. And I just left the rose hips in because I'm just going to pour it through my straining system, and that's going to catch the rose hips anyhow. And rose hips are wonderful. You can't cook them too much. They're one thing, same as the other roots that are in there, the licorice roots. It's actually perfect. I'm going to turn it off now. It's ready. I'm going to pour it. They're ones that you can heat at a really high temperature, and you won't lose any of the medicinal value at all. Okay, so I'm going to pour this now so I can drain the rose hips. It's going to go down to hardly anything, you'll see. Ooh, looks good. Let's see what we get. 2 cups would be great. It looks like we're getting a little bit more, but it's still wonderful. It's still going to be delish. It just won't be as thick. Oh, okay. So now what you would do is you would scrape off, there's like this white stuff, and scrape that off. So let's see what we got in measurement. What we have. Oh my goodness, it's exactly 2 cups. So that worked out good. That's going to be a perfect syrup. Look how beautiful it is. And it's 2 cups. It worked out great. So if you boil that on a nice full roll boil for 15 minutes. Oh, so this is so loaded now with the vitamin C, with the rose hips. The rhubarb has so many nutrition things, like it's amazing, the nutritional value of the rhubarb. So good for the belly. The licorice roots, wonderful for the belly, and they're very nutritional. They have all kinds of antioxidants. I can't talk, it's really late at night. So yeah, now what I'll do is I'll take off this white little foam, and then I'm gonna pour it. I have to taste it. Then I'll pour it into my container. I have a beautiful medicinal syrup with ginger in it. Oh, it's gonna be hot. Oh, lovely. It's so good. Now this is optional. The one more thing that we can do. It's a little bit of lemon juice. fresh squeezed lemon juice. That tastes so good. Oh my gosh. This is a natural preservative, so just make it last longer. So it's totally optional. I'm going to put mine in. That was a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. So that's going to act as a natural preservative and make it have a shelf life of, without it, you're probably get like a couple weeks. With the lemon, you could get maybe a couple months that you have a good shelf life. So I'll just take off the white bubbles. There's really not that much. Once it starts to cool, I can take them off better. And that's it. That's your simple syrup, your medicinal one.